Time for another A-plus mock draft from the Democratic Republic of Sports, the Sportsocracy. Tennessee Titans time now. They got the 11th pick in the draft. There've been big rumors. Will they make a trade up? Will they make a trade down?
I have it on good authority that Arizona would trade down for 100% of what their pick is worth, and no one will give it to them. And there's a very simple reason for that. Will Levis is who Indianapolis is taking it for. They've been in love with him the whole process. I have not backed off that one time. I feel like there are teams that are in like with C.J. Stroud and with Anthony Richardson, but they're not in love with him, which is ironic because I feel like a team is going to be able to sit right where they are, and one of them will fall in their lap.
Could that be the Tennessee Titans?
It is.
Number 11, C.J. Stroud, quarterback from Ohio State. Is this all because of the S2 cognitive test?
No. It's because I'm telling you, and you can vouch for this, I've been very steadfast on this. The people I talk to are not as in love with C.J. Stroud as people make it out to be. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think he's going to fall any lower than this? No, because the physical talent is just tantalizing. And if you're Tennessee and this quarterback falls right in your lap, there's no doubt they're already out on Malik Willis. They saw enough last year, and if they had listened to me beforehand, then they would have already known that because I never saw NFL quarterback out of Malik Willis. I do see NFL quarterback out of C.J. Stroud. You're just going to have to you're going to have to be patient because I don't think he's a day one starter. What strike me is as you sit him under Ryan Tannehill for a year, you are what you are. I don't think there's any player that's going to make you better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't think this is a playoff team. So I'm building for the future. I do think 2 years from now, C.J. Stroud has the arm to be a good NFL quarterback, but that Ohio State system just doesn't. They don't do things at Ohio State that translate to the NFL. There's a reason it took Justin Fields 2 years to look like a competent NFL quarterback. I actually like C.J. Stroud significantly better because to me, he has a better arm, a more consistent throwing motion. He's just more raw than people want to make it out. And I want you to think about this. If you spend your career throwing to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., you ever really going to develop?
Probably not.
Probably not. This is the old USC disorder. They had and by the way, you had Jameson. He didn't play with Jameson Williams, but you had him, and you got another one that's coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
So with Marvin Harrison Jr., I just feel like it stunted his growth because all he did was stare down receivers away from him to get open. Now, can he make every throw? Yes, he can. Is he more athletic than people think? Yes, he is. If you're willing to put in the work, I think he can be a franchise quarterback. I do not believe anybody is trading up to get him, though.
In the Tennessee Titans A-plus scenario, he falls right in their laps at number 11. At number 41 overall in the second round.
I thoroughly love that this kid is screaming up boards late because I've been saying this throughout the entire process.
Jalen Duncan, tackle from Maryland.
He is a plug-and-play day one starter at tackle. If you want to look at the worst tape of his, it is not going to make you feel warm and fuzzy. But this will be your left side. This will be your left tackle to me immediately. Then you can put Dillard in at guard. I know, but we got Andre Dillard. Yeah, I understand that. If you trust Andre Dillard going into next year as your left tackle, you get what you get. Nick Petit-Frere stays on the right side, draft pick from last year, and now I feel gooder about the offensive line than I do right now. I love Jalen Duncan. I have the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a tape where he got absolutely eviscerated? Yes, there was. It was a bad day. He's not a bad prospect. I think this kid's going to be a long-term starter in the league. And to be honest with you, I'm starting to hear first-round buzz on him.
Wow.
Into the first round.
Third round, number 72 overall. How about the Tennessee Titans adding a weapon here with Tank Dell, wide receiver from Houston?
Really dynamic with the ball in his hand. You're going to have weapons because you can't go in with a rookie with Nick Westbrook-Akina as your two. I think you're good with Chig-Okonkwo. You're going to have to do something to round that off because to me, he's not a complete tight end, but he's a very good pass catcher. That mixed with Traylon Burks, you add Tank Dell here, who is he has a nose for the end zone, really good slot receiver. He is thin. That's the thing you have to understand. I do believe in the modern day NFL, I don't think that's a big deal. At his size, 5 years ago, there would have been teams that wouldn't take him in the first 5 rounds because he's just so damn little. You're also going to have to work on some drop issues, but At this point, he's a playmaker. You need a playmaker, and you add this to C.J. Stroud.
No pick in the 4th round for Tennessee. 5th round, 147 overall. Anthony Bradford, guard from LSU.
Now, Tennessee's had every one of these guys in the building at some point, and Anthony Bradford is no different. I believe he comes into the league as a starting guard immediately. He is a motherfucking house, 6'4", 332 pounds. I think he's a plug-and-play guard. Now, do I think he has a crazy high upside? No, he's a little lead-footed. The fact that, and I do have to say this just as a little aside, I have absolutely no reason to think you're trading Derrick Henry. I've heard the Akbar Gbajabiamila report. He hosts Ninja Warrior. So, but they have the same agent. Bert Kreischer has an agent that has NFL players. Do you think he's breaking shit? No, I don't think so. So I think we're putting too much into that. I believe Derrick Henry will still be with this team because I can't believe you're going to put a rookie quarterback out there with no running back, no weapons, and a developing offensive line. Mm-hmm. Now, that being said, Anthony Bradford is a guy that will come in and help Derrick Henry right away, help open the running lanes. Good running attack is very paramount in this offense, and it's the best way to help C.J. Stroud. This is a guy I know they like a lot.
I would think if you did make a trade for Derrick Henry or trade Derrick Henry, then running back would be pretty high on
absolutely,
this
and you're just
list.
and you're just not going to get the value for him.
Yep. In the 6th round, 186 overall, Mahmoud Diabate.
If you give this kid a year, he might end up being a really high-level edge rusher. And it's not that he can play right now. I just think you're going to see him kind of round into form. He started at Florida, and I've never felt like he found his fit. There are people that think he's really good in coverage. I would argue that's because he was schemed good in coverage. He has the raw ability to do it. There's just some technique issues that I think you're going to have to round off. He is a little on the small side, depending on what you're going to ask him to do at 230 pounds. Some people see this kid as an absolute edge rusher. Some of them see him as an inside linebacker. So it's kind of beauties in the eye of the beholder. They had a private workout with him, and I do know that they really like the kid and think he can come in and add something to the pass rush immediately.
Titans' final pick in the 7th round comes at 228. Jeremy Lucian, cornerback from Vanderbilt.
And I'm not 100% sure he ends up playing corner in the league. I think he might be a safety. Ran a 4.7 40, which is, well, that's not good. But he's 6'2", 200 pounds, really good against the run. He strikes me as a developmental free safety, because it takes away a lot of the issues. He's a really willing tackler in the run game. Hadn't used that many times this year, but it really fits this kid. He's got good instincts. He's just not as fast as you would like him to be, and you might even want to bulk him up. But I will say this, if you could add 10 to 15 good pounds to this kid's frame and move him to free safety, he could be really terrifying.
A-plus dream scenario for the Tennessee Titans in the 2023 NFL Draft. Don't have to move. Don't have to give up future capital. You sit right there at 11, and C.J. Stroud falls in your lap.
I have this on good authority. The Tennessee Titans are not giving up future first-round picks to get any quarterback in this class. They will ride with Ryan Tannehill before they do that. Mm-hmm. If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, if, frankly, you just want to say I look like the Brawny Man, you can do that in our comments. I answer all of those. I'm trying to get to all of them before draft day. We got a lot yesterday. We got a lot on Saturday. So my final mock draft will be coming out on the channel. Before the draft, we'll be doing player prospect profiles, different things like that, so to keep you all in the know ahead of the 2023 NFL Draft, and we'll be live for every pick of it right here on YouTube.
Do you get the Brawny Man comparison a lot?
I get Luke Combs' incestual brother.
Yeah, I was going to say Brawny.
Like something weird happened, and you're related to Luke Combs, but it was probably a derivative of a close kin relationship.
I was going to say the Brawny Man after a 4-year bender, maybe.
The Brawny Man if he hung out with Charlie Sheen too long.
There you go. Like this video, share it out with your friends as well, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get all of our team-by-team Draftmas season content over the next few days. And yes, we will see you live for every pick of the draft starting on Thursday night right here in the Sportsocracy.